Okay, looks like we're good. Welcome, guys. This is. Okay, alright, looks like everything's working. Welcome, guys, to more Shining in Darkness. I'm sorry about yesterday. Um, I ended the stream kind of early, and it was just really the heat. Uh, I don't know if it's like. Honestly, it's a strange thing that happens every year where I have trouble. Like, I, 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 I don't know. I tell this to my wife. It's when the heat gets to me. I get nauseous, dizzy. Um, I vomited twice this year because of the heat. You know, so, and and I get lightheaded sometimes, right? So I was playing yesterday, and the heat wasn't too bad. Uh, so the heat wasn't too bad, but but as it progressed, it got hotter and hotter, and then like I wasn't able to concentrate on the game anymore. I was like, at this point, I'm not doing it right. Um, Even though I opened the door and turned on the fan, it just wasn't working, and I couldn't continue. And I was like, look, I got time. I'll just wake up early tomorrow, and that's why I'm doing this right now because it's pretty chill outside. I got the fan going. I feel more comfortable. So that's what I'm doing now. Anything? The bronze armor, huh? I wonder if it's a little too early for that. I guess it wouldn't hurt. But things are gonna get very expensive very soon, so I don't know if I should hold off. I'll give it a Milo. Milo can't. Uh, I don't have space. Damn. So that's a thing. That's the reason why I haven't streamed any Dreamcast games because my room there is it is always hot. Like I'm like the air conditioning in that room is incredibly loud. And I go there, I turn on the air conditioning and it keeps the room in it doesn't freeze it up. I'm just gonna try with what I got. So So that's why I don't stream in that room anymore. Is because it's really hot, and if I turn on the air conditioning, it's just gonna like. Go sleep there. You're just gonna be hearing noise, like air conditioning noise. Ooh. That's why when I'll do like my post processing stuff, like like my last Street Fighter video. I had the air conditioning on and I had my computer on. While and that's how I was editing and doing stuff for my Street Fighter video. But actually live streaming, it's just too noisy. Really? Thought I beat this guy already. Oh man. What if we just wail on it? Alright, I guess this was better. I'll tell you what though, man. I remember not having this problem at all. But when I went to the beach last week or 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, as sunny as it wasn't hot. It was like a pleasant. Oh, so I'm gonna have to fight the Grim Wall all the time. Jeez. Yeah, it was a pleasant temperature. We were walking around. I got a little sunburnt, but I guess that happens when you go to the beach. Good thing I had my sunblock lotion, and it was just us, me and my wife, just like relaxing, and he wasn't getting to me. And then when I come back home, it's like really really hot, and I'm like, jeez. Well, wait, what did I just do? I dropped something, didn't I? Damn. Okay. Totally messed that up. You see what happens when you're not paying attention? Okay, gotta pay more attention. The first time I saw that as a kid, it freaked me out. The idea that an actual wall could come to life. You know, I wonder if we could talk about my time with Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter 2. I have to tell you guys, that's not everyone's. A lot of people have problems with that game, and I have been a tough time understanding why. Um. Oh snap! Really? I'll tell you. We, we could honestly say that by the time Super Street Fighter 2 came out, it's been played out, right? It it came out in '94. The original came out in 1991, and I think on the Super Nintendo '92, if I'm not mistaken. And when, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's what was going on. And there were the talks of where is Street Fighter 3? Where is Street Fighter 3? Right? All they're doing, and in the eyes of a lot of people, all they were doing to Street Fighter 2 was kind of like adding some bells and whistles, right? It wasn't really it wasn't really making a new game. It was just updating what you have right now, right? And you had to pay like, well, in the arcade you're just gonna drop in a quarter and have it. It's a new take on the same game, but at home you're basically buying a new game or paying for the same game again and again. You know, oh, I got Street Fighter 2 now. Oh, but this one has new characters. Oh, but this one has new moves. You know, it was just a thing. And people wanted a new Street Fighter, and I think uh, I think people just had enough, right? To me, I that never really bothered me, cause one, at the time, the only Street Fighter I had was a Super Street Fighter on the Genesis, and and that's the only Street Fighter I had, and I loved it. I thought it was great. The best fighting game on the Genesis. I remember saying, which is probably true if you really think about it. It's probably true. But when my brother gave me the strategy guide, and you know, and I found out about Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo ST. Well, we'll call it ST for short. It piqued my interest. Like, oh wow, this other half of the strategy guide has combos for for a new Street Fighter game, for the new Street for Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, right? I can't wait, and I was hoping it'll come to consoles. It did, but only on the 3DO, and it just never came, right? If I knew there was a PlayStation or Saturn one, I would have at least I definitely would have tried to get the PlayStation one, definitely. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I'm just looking at my map. Yeah, I kind of figured. Yeah, I put little wavy lines to show that that's the. You know, and I was kind of hoping, right? Now, this was '94, and I knew, and I've seen the strategy guide, and my brother, he went to the arcade. At the time, I wasn't going to the arcade too much, and it was also around the time my mom got um, the washing machine, so I couldn't go to the laundromat to play the arcades there. But it but I do recall my brother telling me about Super Street Fighter 2, and it has all this stuff. It has like newer moves, and he was just talking. He was hyping the game up, right? And I was like, oh, I want to play this. Oh, there's. Okay, I feel like these guys are more dangerous. So, this idea of the hype that I was that I was feeling was because I really wanted to try it. I see all the combos and I see all the moves in the strategy guide. My brother's telling me about it, and there is no Genesis or Super Nintendo versions. And for the longest time, I thought there was gonna be one on the. I don't know where I heard this or where I read this or whatever, but for the longest time, I thought that we were gonna get one on the Genesis 32X, on the 32X, right? And to me, it makes sense. Like, you want to show off the 32X, so why not just put the newest Street Fighter there, and with the extra color and a better sound, maybe you know make it like the arcade, right? So that doesn't happen though, right? it doesn't show up. I see a review of it on the 3DO, and and I remember thinking I want to get a 3DO maybe, but you know, I was like, geez, I was like, yeah, I was like 11 years old, and thinking about that. But I saw how much it costs. Like, I know a system's not supposed to cost that much. At that point, might as well buy a Neo Geo, right? You know. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I figured. Oh man, look, now I have to suffer all this damage. And they're going after Milo relentlessly. So this desire to play Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo remained with me until I was a little older. Uh, like I, I didn't get a chance to play for the first time till I was like four, like 4 years later when I finally got to play when I finally got to play at the arcade, at actual arcade place. My brother took me to the arcade, started taking me to the arcade at that point, and spell. And for the first time ever, I saw it. I saw Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and it was a little bit. It was slightly bittersweet because it was something I've always wanted to play, but it's stuck in an arcade. And this was, and and I remember this is how crazy it was. You know, my brother said, "Oh, my brother said, do you just want to come to the art?" It was, I remember, it was the summer of '98. Don't know the exact date, but oh, I should have just gone. It was the summer of '98. And my brother just asked me if I just want to go to the arcades. Like it was one of those lazy summer days, and I said, "Yeah, yeah, right." So, I think he was going there just to talk to his friend that worked there, you know, and and I take a bunch of quarters. Oh no, no, no! My brother gave me a $5 bill, and, and and he gave me a $5 bill so I could play arcade games. That's how cool he was. And I just started looking around, and then I find. At first, I played Killer Instinct because at that point I played the Super Nintendo one, but I've never played the actual arcade one. And damn, it was it was badass. I thought it was badass, right? It was very showy, but it was awesome. And And I played that for a while, and then I find Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and I'm like, oh, this is the game I've always wanted to play. And this goes to show you how much I memorized that that strategy guide. The first character I picked in that game was Akuma. I memorized I memorized the sequence, how long you had to put on each character. It was Cammy. No, it was T-Hawk, Guile, and then Cammy. And then you go back to Ryu, wait like 3 seconds, push start into 3 punch buttons. And I remember doing it. Wait. There we go. And I remember doing it and thinking, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. Let's see. Hold on. God, I really gotta title these things. I should probably just. Okay, here, I think this is it. Oh. That is incredibly. Wow, that was very, very, how do you say? Even for like a hidden mod, I think that was a way too much. Way too much. I wonder if I should level up some more. Alright. Well, there's a chest over here. This is rough. Look, I remember in '98, I remember playing Super Street Fighter 2 and was very, very happy to do that, but It was bittersweet because at the time I didn't know that there were home versions of the same game, and it wasn't until I got a PS2 that I came in with Capcom Classics Volume 2. But that version was heavily flawed. I remember not having any fun. Yeah, I remember not having any fun. The arcade. I I think what I played at the arcade was a fixed version. Um, yeah, I played a fixed version at the arcade, and on the PS2, and even the new one, the Street Fighter collection, or yeah, anniversary collection. That that used, like, I guess the first revision where the AI is incredibly difficult. And I remember on the PS2, like, I remember trying really hard, and I'm like, I don't remember Street Fighter being this hard, right? It really bothered me. Oh no, they're toads. I thought they would have caught fire or something. And and that's how and that's basically what started my, well, what started my basically my Saturn journey was wanting to play X-Men vs Street Fighter. I remember playing that game a lot in arcade too, but I was never any good at it. How much money do I have now? Let me see. Hmm. Maybe I should try getting that spear for maybe I should try getting that spear for Pyra. I always like how she looks. She looked like this angry, geeky wizard chick. Elven wizard chick. I've always liked the fact that the Shining games looked very un-anime like. It it was like its own thing. Jeez. That does a little bit more damage. Maybe I should get the. Yeah, you know what? It's probably better if I get the bronze. Yeah, it's probably better if I get the bronze armor or something. A breastplate or whatever. Yeah, but yeah, that's what started. It's X Men versus Street Fighter. I remember wanting to play that game, and I wanted to play like other Capcom CPS2 games, but I really didn't like how a lot of these games that were showing up on the compilations. They were. I know that I don't have a problem with emulation in general, but I do have a problem with the emulation that they were using on the PS2 and original Xbox. Everything looked muddy. The sound wasn't quite right. There was latency, and then they were even using the revised or updated revisions of the arcade boards. They were using like the vanilla ones, and you know, of course, that brought problems, and I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. I was very upset with how some of these titles that they were turning up. Like there were better versions of this, right? And of course, I go to the Shoryuken forums and check out game facts and whatnot. And this is the general consensus that I heard. Like, the Saturn has is either close to exactly or better than the arcade. That was a general consensus, depending on the game. And even that even included for some Neo Geo games. I bought a Neo Geo. Like, when was it? Sometime in 2004, I remember getting one, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna play the arcade accurate games. But I saw the prices on those. So like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I should just like stifle my, stifle that. So, stop that. You know, it's not financially beneficial to buy an entire Neo Geo library. That sort of thing. And same thing with it. Like, the compilations had sound and visual text issues and latency, and it was just not, it wasn't very good. It was not very good. Oh God. There's a blue dot. Yeah. Man. Yeah. And I just remember like thinking I was better off just getting the Saturn versions of these games because they're close enough, right? You know, they're close enough. Might as well go for it. And and that's what I did. Like I think in the course of a year, and this was back when these games were relatively cheap. So like in a course of a year, I'd had probably, let's see, first it was X-Men versus Street Fighter, Fighting Vipers, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. Um, then I got Super Turbo with the or Street Fighter Collection with Super Turbo and Alpha 2. Then I got Real then I got Real Bout. Then I got Real Bout Special. Then I got King of Fighters 96. Then I got King of Fighters 97. Then I got Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I remember finding that game. Uh, where did I find that game? Oh yeah, I remember finding that game at like this local mom and pop store, and I was very unaware of how big the Saturn community was. I really thought that you know it was just people at the FGC. Um, but I guess listing off those games. And then like I remember asking my brother, like he bought and then sold his Saturn, and I remember really just sitting down with him, just asking him well, what games do you remember playing that you liked, and he told me about Iron Storm, and he liked Iron Storm. And I was like, yeah. And then he said a few others, but it, it was a tough time. Like, but I think that was the only game he liked. Like I don't think there was anything on there that really captured his attention. I'm looking at the library, Saturn library. I'm like, I remember thinking this. I like the Saturn now because of its fighting games, right? Back when I was a kid, or when I was like 12, 13 years old, when the Saturn came out, and then shortly thereafter, I remember not liking it because it wasn't. Oh, this is gonna suck. It's not doing enough damage. I remember as a kid thinking that no, this is not the successor to the Genesis. There's no Sonic and all this stuff, but I like it now because it has really good fighting games. It's everyone's asleep. Excellent. So I remember thinking that okay, as a kid I didn't like the Saturn because it wasn't the Genesis console that the successor to the Genesis as I wanted. But now I but now I like it because it has good fighting game ports. You know, I cannot I cannot deny that. Now at the time, you know, really that's all it was. I could have gotten that with just regular fight. All right. What do I have? I think I should just get her the spear. No, but the spear. How much is the spear? You know, but slowly but surely, like, but by then I had access to the internet and I was seeing what other people thought of the Saturn, and then that's how I discovered this deep Saturn community that has appreciation for the system that I never did. Right? You know, I still look at it as a failed Genesis successor, but an excellent fighting game library. Comes really close. Okay, I think that's. Let's see. I'm facing north? Yes, I am facing north. I'm just looking at my map. But there's a lot of things that I wish the Saturn could have been, but it never was. Um, I'm still critical of the Saturn, the way they made it, the marketing, the games that never arrived. Oh God, how much hype myself. I, you know, and it stands to reason. If you really think about it, why why wouldn't there be a new Streets of Rage or a new Sonic or a new Fantasy Star? It really does boggle the mind. I'm really thinking back, like, as a kid I expected that stuff because it was the successor to the Genesis, right? It was, you know, it. Like, why wouldn't the new why wouldn't those games come out? And I remember like I don't know. I bought my like seventh or eighth fighting game on the Saturn, and this was still back when they were cheap. I got Real Bout Special for like something like $12 at, at a at a gaming swap meet, right? I want to see what's over here. Okay, I think if they're giving me this, I think it's time. Let's see. Equip. Didn't he sell it to me though? Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. Anyway, it was by my seventh or eighth fighting game that I bought. I got, you know, that I decided like let me expand the thing, because there were a lot of people saying great things about. There were people saying great things about the Saturn. It's just that. Let's see. I should get that for Pybra. Let me think. I think I should give this to Milo. Yeah, that gives him a lot more armor. Let's see, what was I thinking? I began looking to see what other games I could find and did some research. I was actually looking up to see if there was any games that were made by the people that made some of these Genesis games, and that's when I discovered like Guardian Heroes, um, all these Shining games, like you know, Shining the Holy Ark, Shining Wisdom. I'm like, oh wow, there's some more stuff here. And then I discover Dark Savior, and I remember reading Dark Savior in the EGM. So I picked up an EGM, and I'm thinking like, yeah, this kind of looks. The review scores were a little mixed, but or a little kind of low. But I remember looking at it and thinking like, this is kind of like or this looks like Landstalker in a way. And yeah, this looks like Landstalker. I remember thinking. I remember this. I remember Landstalker, and I see it was made by the same people that made Landstalker. So I sought it out. I bought it. Um, and I'm just finding Japanese versions of a lot of these games that were cheaper. I I could honestly say for every one American Saturn game that I have, no, wait, how do I even say this? I would say 80% of my Saturn games are Japanese. Because all the good stuff was left over there. Let me heal up. Oh, that was not a good number to have. 6666. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go back there. However, I don't think I got this. Honestly, if there needed to be a lot more Genesis representation, because right now the only thing I could really recall that had any ties to the Genesis is the Shining games, Shining Force 3, Shining the Holy Ark, Shining Wisdom. Like those had certain elements. Beyond Oasis, I guess you could say one, and Dark Savior is another. But those games didn't really have, how do I want to state this? Those games didn't really have the don't didn't really have the recognition that carried Sega. Like me and my friend, we would play Streets of Rage. We would have loved to see a 3D Streets of Rage. Me and my friends, we played Eternal Champions. We would have loved to see it in Eternal Champions. But there was nothing like that. I unfortunately gonna have to go over here because oh man, when wow, I see a lot of people they're making homebrew for the yeah, I was looking over my map and I discovered that well, I missed a couple of things. I really gotta. Great. I guess I could sell that. There's another chest over here. I'm gonna sell the morning star. Okay. You know, since I leveled up, I might as well like save and then I'll keep on going. You know, I crazy enough, there was crazy enough, I see the Dreamcast as a better successor to the Genesis. I really do, and after this was like in high school. There were you gotta be kidding me, really? How do I want to put this? Okay, in high school, people didn't even know that the Saturn existed. So there was just one guy in my class. I remember this one guy who actually had a Saturn, and this was and of course I knew the Saturn existed because I was reading magazines, and my brother had one for a long time, and there was this one guy, you know, he was a little quiet, but I remember I remember talking to him, you know, and I remember I said, hey, do you play games or something like that? I said, yeah, I do. You know, what are you playing right now? He's like, oh, I'm playing Fighting Vipers. And I'm like, oh snap, you got a Saturn? And you know, this was in high school, right? PlayStation was already in full swing. He says, yeah, you know, my dad got me one and all this stuff. And I couldn't, you know, and I said, and I began jotting down games to see if he's tried them or if he's played them, and I remember mentioning, you know, Panzer Dragoon. Like, yeah, I played Panzer Dragoon at first. We had this little conversation, but he was the only guy that had a Saturn in the entire class. Like, you know, and basic maybe in the entire school perhaps. You know, and he was kind of he felt a little surprised that I knew what I was talking about. I'm guessing he just felt alone, and I asked again. I kind of sympathized with him because I remember in in the Master System days, and even in the beginning of the Genesis days, that no one really knew what the Genesis was. And when I began talking, when you know, when I got more friends and what at high school, and whatnot, a lot of them didn't even know what the Saturn was. And when the Dreamcast came out, you know, you know, I remember like people thinking that, oh, that this is the Genesis successor. You know, like, oh, they didn't know that there was something in between. That was Genesis straight to Dreamcast. And I couldn't like fathom, like, wow, these guys, they don't know any, like, they knew Genesis, right? Oh man. Yes, it's good. And I remember just like talking to him, man. I remember like all my friends at high school or classmates at high school, they had no clue about any of that. And I remember going. I remember when the Dreamcast commercials coming up. I talked to the guy that had the Saturn. I was like, hey, "Do you plan to get this?" He's like, "Nah, you know, there's still a lot of games on my Saturn that I have to finish." You know, I think he went. Yeah, in after the semester, I think he went to a different school. I never saw him again. But yeah, he was the only guy that had a Saturn in my entire class. Oh man. All these fights, man, jeez. it is crazy thinking that people didn't even know that the Saturn existed. But I think it was a changing of the times too, because this is something I slowly noticed. But as video gaming became more mainstream, some of the games I liked, the kind of games I liked, started to disappear. Like they really did. Um, Dungeon crawling RPGs like this kind of disappeared for a while. You know, hold on, wait. Go after these guys. You know, right? JRPGs they came in a big way, um, but I think I wouldn't say JRPGs always experimented, so nothing was really wrong with that. Oh, finally. But oh wow. But I could tell there was a change in the games and the kind of games people were playing, and I honestly didn't like it, but I wasn't against it because the more people that could play, the more, you know, the more people that play, the better, I would say. But I think there should have been some sort of gatekeeping. Because if you look at how the industry is right now, you know, like, not like it's all really profit driven to the point where like quality and experience is taking a backseat to profit and a quick turnaround on that profit. Oh man, look at that. There's some magic. I hope that seahorse doesn't come back. Alright, cool. Oh man. What luck. Neat. I do see something of a renaissance in gaming, though. Like, Crazy Taxi is coming back. You know, I hope it will be fine by the end of this, but even them, they're whoa, whoa. There we go. I didn't know that there was a... Okay. The domino. Or side block. Really? Huh. You know, the new games that are being experimented on coming out, I see something good, but oh no. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna fall for it. Everyone's asleep. Why? Is it 3 turns already? Everyone's sleeping. Oh wow. Really? They've just been giving me garbage. They've been giving me garbage. I don't know what to do with this stuff. Not too bad. Well, yeah, that's not too bad. And the pigeon landed just out front my door. Let's see. Oh wow! I better get a better armor for Lance. Supposed to be something over here. Oh wait. Hmm. Ooh. Oh, jeez. Yeah, fine. Ooh, that was tough. Yes, 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 yes. That was a miracle herb. Should be more effective with the long spear. Okay, let's go back into the dungeon. Oh god, please. Is that wall still there? Yep. Yeah, I shouldn't be very. Well, it's been a while since there was a mimic, so how was I supposed to know that there was a ghost inside? mouse. Shouldn't you be sleeping kind of early?
Oh, I got laundry that has to be done, but I don't got any clean clothes. And yeah, I am sleepy though.
Yeah, you slept on the couch. I should have just went to bed when we got back. Really? Like,
I just it's weird that
I could just go ahead. It's turn-based battles, mouse. It's not very. You don't need much skill in a turn-based battle. Just keep on pushing A for me, you know.
A? Are you sure?
Just keep pushing A.
Okay, so A to
Attack. Just keep attacking.
do that so fast. Hey boo, it's defeated.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're afraid of RPGs, mouse?
As I really because I tried playing RPGs and I tried playing the Mario 64 one when they first presented the RPG.
And
I only played the first battle.
And you lost?
No, I
was,
won.
was it too?
Then it was only rented at the time, so it's only like for the day I could play, you know, and then took it back to the video store.
I have that game on my cartridge there. Do you want to try again? See if you beat it.
No, it's been years since I played it.
You always play those cell phone games. Why don't you just stop and actually get a super? There's a Super Nintendo with a lot more interesting games on there.
Your cell phone has all.
Yeah.
That's true.
How?
Picture fell off the gamble?
Which picture?
The one with the car. The one that was with the car.
Oh, I never put it up.
Oh yeah, wait. We're just waiting to after the song.
We're waiting for the heat to dissipate. I agree. I think I got myself lost. Is it over here? Yes. Was it mine?
No. It was all I told you if I lost because I wasn't on the pants, my workout
crying out loud. That wind attack is a lot more effective than anything else I got. Sadly, oh, ah, Lance went up a level. Okay. Now I will have Milo cast a great heal on Lance so I could start at some point, I think after so many steps, one of the puddles begins to, well, it will trigger one of the puddles to summon a monster. If you kind of know right, you could probably go to like a earlier stages like puddle and it'll summon like a weaker monster. And then you could go ahead and go to like later stages of the game and not having to worry to fight like an Undyne or whatever. Really? I think there's a yellow version of those at some point. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, puddle coming up. Alright, nothing. Sorry, the person you're trying to heal isn't there. There's a chest over here, but I gotta be careful. Oh, zombies. Or tomb walker. Really? Jeez. Wait, didn't I have? Damn. I'm gonna have to just run that risk. Alright, no, that's good. How do I use those pools? I'm surprised they actually allow that. They allow that. That, that Gorgon with the boobs out. Fantasy Star 4 took out an enemy because of that. I think she was still in the code, and someone just like put her back into the. So someone put her back in. Okay. Oh no. None of them are dying. Alright, well that one died. that does. False idol. This guy's gonna regret attacking me. Should be good for a while. Okay, so I guess it's not that bad right now. It wasn't that long ago that I got the chainmail, and that's why I don't want to. Oh man, it's weird. It's a little unfair, not that like. It's a little unfair that I have to go through this, really. Well, at least I don't have to fight up. Oh. Okay. There's a chest over here. Oh, great. Okay. Ooh. Really? Oh, wow. That is so unfair, guys. That is a very unfair. Oh. And right at Lance, because Lance is the one that could definitely beat it up. Very unfair, guys. Jeez, all right. Oh wow. Oh, I'm full. Okay. Item, equip. Yeah, it's still going. Okay, well, the long spear gives me that. Okay, well, let me see my status. Bloodstaff spear. Oh. Okay, well, let me just save it. Save it. Okay, I think I'm near the end there, but oh, really? Oh. no. Why with the toadstool? I hate the toadstool. It's way overpowered for what it is. It's a mushroom. It's a stinking mushroom that should be easy to trample on. And the fact that the main character takes forever to attack is also aggravating. Hmm. Peace. So see if it's gonna come back. I think I did enough. Alright. Not too bad, not too bad. You know, when there's these many, when there's these many like, when there's these many random battles while you're like trying to figure out where to go, it makes it hard to keep track where you're at on the map. It really does. This is gonna be a long one. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'll luck out. Yeah, I guess I lucked out. One step and this is what happens, man. Jesus. Please. Man, I think I got it wrong. There we go. Oh man. But for crying out loud, one step, and I'm already in another battle. Oh, man, it's so unfair. God, no. Well, that was not what I was looking for, but damn. Man, this is rough. This is rough. Come on, really? Again with the no attack? If Lance would have hit, I wouldn't. There wouldn't have been extra damage done to him. And immediately, as soon as the spell wears out, I'm in the middle of this again. Jesus. getting really frustrated with this game now. Oh my, was it 2 steps? 2 steps and I'm already, oh wow, this is not. You guys are seeing this, right? You guys are seeing how many battles I've already been. The fact that Milo and Pyro are now able to like one-shot these guys proves that it's... And Lance is too slow. Why is he too slow? Oh my, 1 step. 1 step. Think about that, guys. 1 step and I'm in another battle. I didn't even have to wait that long to get into another fight like that. Look how long I have to wait for Lance to fight or to get another turn. It's... can't believe it. Ah. Yeah, I just wanted to avoid that puddle. Not. Are those purple versions of these now? Again? Oh, wow. I've always hated these puddles. I always hate these puddles. Okay. See, they should be attacking the same person, and then, well, they should be attacking the same enemy or same monster, and I want to have to worry. There's one less monster to worry about. No, there's a dead end over there. Wait. This is weird. Why does it look like that? Why do I have a... Why do I have a wall there? Oh, okay, I see. It's a fake wall, alright. So if I try to go there, yeah. I see, I see. I know, I see what I did. Okay, I'll just avoid that. Jeez. One step and I'm already. Get weaker. I don't think Pyro could use that chainmail. Really? That's so unfair. Really think about it. That's good. Ah, damn it. Oh, that's a lot. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Damn it, a puddle. I think I should be good. Right. come on. Really? Oh, what is it? Oh, come on. Couldn't attack the other one? Please level up some of your magic. Blaze level 3. Thank you. I wonder if there's... Come on. It sucks I'm not one-shotting these guys. Haha. Oh, finally. Alright, well, it's better than nothing. Oh boy. Okay, that's it. That was way more than I anticipated. Well, that was a tough one. That was a tough one. I I'm gonna have to get really prepared for the next one. And just sell some stuff. Okay, let's see. Item give. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save this. Yes, yes, save it, save it. Oh, nope. I'm calling it. I'm calling it a day, guys. Look at that. This was the most frustrating thing I've ever been in. And I wasn't smart. I was not smart. I should have marked these things when I was a kid as not just chest, but if they had like monsters in them or something. But I never expected to play this game again. I never expected this game to play this game again. Oh man. Yeah, it's gonna suck. But I'll figure something out. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And thank you guys for watching me. It is getting kind of hot here, so I'm gonna have to like settle down somewhat. Ah, they'll be good. I'll try to stream again later today if possible. If not, then maybe tomorrow. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Late.